It began not with soldiers, but with merchants. Men in tall ships arrived on the sun-drenched shores of India in the early 17th century. They were from a distant island called Britain. They called themselves the East India Company. Their ships were filled with silver and wool, goods they hoped to trade for India's treasures. They came seeking pepper, cloves, fine cottons, shimmering silks. The Mughal Empire, rich and powerful, ruled over this vast and prosperous land. The emperors in Delhi saw these foreigners as just another group of traders, harmless and eager to do business. They granted them permission to build small trading posts: Surat, Madras, Calcutta. No one could have imagined what these small beginnings would lead to. The company men were clever and patient. They learned the languages of India. They studied the complex politics of the Mughal court and the many regional kingdoms. They saw a land of immense wealth, but also one of deep divisions. Princes and kings often fought amongst themselves, vying for power and land. The company slowly, almost invisibly, began to change. The turning point came in the lush green mango groves of Plassey. In 1757, the ruler of the wealthy province of Bengal, Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowlah, was young and impulsive. He saw the growing power of the British in Calcutta as a threat to his authority. He demanded they stop building fortifications and pay their taxes. The company, led by the audacious Robert Clive, refused. The Nawab marched on Calcutta and captured it, a direct challenge to the company's arrogance. This act set in motion a chain of events that would change the course of Indian history forever. Clive, determined to reclaim Calcutta and punish the Nawab, gathered his small army and plotted his revenge. Clive knew he could not defeat the Nawab's massive army in a fair fight. He had only about 3,000 soldiers, while the Nawab commanded nearly 50,000, so he resorted to conspiracy. He found a traitor within the Nawab's own camp, Mir Jafar, the Nawab's ambitious and resentful commander-in-chief. Secret meetings were held, promises were made. Clive promised to make Mir Jafar the new Nawab of Bengal if he would betray his master on the battlefield. Mir Jafar agreed. The fate of India was to be decided not by courage or strategy, but by a secret, treacherous deal. The sense of foreboding was palpable as the two armies prepared to meet. On a rainy summer day, the armies faced each other at Plassey. The battle began. The Nawab's loyal soldiers fought bravely, their cannons thundering across the field. But as the fighting intensified, a large part of the army, the part commanded by Mir Jafar, stood still. They did not move to attack. They did not fire their weapons. Siraj-ud-Dowlah, watching from his elephant, was filled with panic and confusion. He saw his commander's betrayal unfolding before his eyes. His vast army, paralyzed by treachery, fell into disarray. The British, sensing victory, advanced. The battle was over before it had truly begun. It was less a military victory and more a successful business transaction. In 1764, they decided to make a stand. Shah Alam II, rulers of Awadh, rulers of Bengal. They gathered a powerful combined army to drive the British out. They met the company's forces at Buxar, a far more significant contest than Plassey. Not won by treachery, a straight fight, the old Indian way of war versus the new disciplined European model. The British victory at Buxar was decisive and devastating. By 1819, the East India Company was the undisputed master of India. The British ruled with an iron fist, but the spirit of India was not broken. For decades, resentment simmered beneath the surface. This anger exploded in 1857 with the Great Uprising, a massive rebellion of Indian soldiers and civilians. It was brutally crushed, but it changed everything. It ended East India Company rule and brought the British Raj. The rebellion lit a fire in the people's hearts, the first collective cry for freedom, a memory that would inspire generations. The fight had just begun. Mahatma Gandhi emerged. He championed a different battle, satyagraha, truth and non-violence. He led the Salt March. Thousands marched to the sea to make their own salt, breaking the British monopoly. People boycotted British goods. They spun their own cloth. Millions joined the struggle. Quit India echoed across the subcontinent. After World War II, Britain was weakened. On August 15, 1947, the British flag was lowered for the last time. India was free. After 2 centuries of struggle, India reclaimed its destiny.